Listen, if you are single and struggling to talk to women, you need to be watching Gentleman Jack, because Ann Lister has all the game. We're going to talk about that right now. Stay with us.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Oh, Gentleman Jack. Gentleman Jack. Yes. I love this episode. I'm so happy to be here.
Yes.
Are you guys happy to be here?
I'm very happy to be here. It was jam-packed.
So jam-packed. We are talking about Gentleman Jack, Season 1, Episode 2. I just went there to study anatomy. I don't know if I actually believe that.
Well, she studied
but
anatomy.
that's her story, and she's sticking to it. We're going to talk about Miss Lister and Miss Walker. We're going to talk about the cold, the wedding. We got some news and gossip for you, and of course, some predictions. Now, but first, let's get our overall... No, let's first introduce everyone. Let's start over there with Raven.
Yes.
Hello. Yes, I was confused.
I was hearing something.
I am Raven, and I hail from. Where do I hail from?
Yes, where do you hail from?
Where do I hail from? Are we hailing from places? Are we hailing from?
You can hail from wherever the hell you want to.
Okay. Guys, I hail from Instagram today.
There you go.
Raven French. Find me there.
Yes.
And I hail from Twitter streets. Find me there. G-Shauna O, if you want to talk about Gentleman Jack.
Well, I guess I'm hailing from Instagram as well today.
Okay.
Cleverly clad, because I'm clad just like Ann Lister.
Well, I hail from all things social media, J-Bay the Fanatic, but I will say, if you on Twitter, you might be getting your fill of Ann Lister, because I am in love with this woman's walk, and I just keep tweeting her walk. I've been trying to get that stride.
That gait.
Because she just walks with a purpose and intention, and you know she about her business, and I love it. But let's talk overall thoughts first.
Well, first off, I think the episode went into depth very quickly. I like how it covered where Ann left off last week, seeing Miss Walker, and that conversation just brought us into who Miss Walker was as a person. And now you're starting to see the relationships between Ann and Miss Walker blossom. So I like that a lot.
Yeah.
You guys already know what I'm going to talk about.
Hit it.
The ships. Okay, so
trying to ship.
I do believe that there's a couple people here that we can ship for all of my shippers out there. I just need help naming Ann, like Miss Walker.
Yes.
You know, I feel like we should use last names, so maybe they could be the Lockers. I don't know.
Okay.
The Whisters.
The
Whisters. Okay, we'll figure it out. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
shipping, so that's been my overall thing I paid attention to was the ships. But it was really jam packed. I loved every single minute of it, and I started to see the historical ideas in there after I did a little research. So, about you?
Overall thoughts. Well, apparently I have a little bit of baggage, because now with this episode, this is me. You know, if a dude is talking to you and he just gets the face, that's what she's getting from me right now. Because I feel like she is predatory at this point.
Oh, I love it.
I can't
That's
disagree.
how I feel. What? And I am. If Ann Walker was my friend, I'd be like, girl, falling for that. Have some self-esteem.
Oh, I don't know. Miss Lister is putting it down. Her game is
game,
strong.
though. It's game.
Look, I was over there like, I don't know. I think I might like. Oh wait, no, this is not about me.
Right.
It's about Miss Walker.
This
It's
has
about Miss
already
Walker.
happened.
Right. So, that kind of hurt my heart. But before we get started, I do want to shout out Laura Wise, because she gave us some tips last week in the chat after we left, not the live chat. Would have been great to have you in the live chat. So if you're in the live chat, hey, fifth panelists, make sure you shout us out, especially you historians out there, because we know y'all are paying attention. But we know. Let's first get to Miss Lister and Miss Walker. You guys have already touched on it. It opens with the scene with the stride. I love the walk, the stride. Going to Miss Walker. Raven, we gonna start with you, because the face is disapproving.
She's ready.
The disapproving face.
Man, I like her bravado. I like it. However, at this point, I just feel like I'm starting to get the feeling that, one, it is more about the money than I thought last time. The money is definitely at play, which makes her predatory, which makes her, she's the, I'm not to say she's the guy, but she's the girl that just kind of likes a challenge. You don't know if she actually authentically likes the person, but she likes the challenge. And I don't like that. I am upset about it.
Okay.
I mean, I cannot even disagree. That's the crazy part. Even though I did, the first line I wrote, you guys, because I love to share my notes with y'all, it says, charm is an understatement. This lady knows charm. And in her diaries, because I've been looking up a lot of stuff, she has this line where she wrote, I know how to please the ladies. This woman knew. She was like, if anyone has any questions about what I can do, I can please the ladies. And so I think that they just spoke to that in this beginning opening scene, because she was really laying it on thick and whispering and using her wispy voice and getting all close in her face, and then being like, oh, I've been here 4 hours, let me go. Because the push and pull of a relationship in the beginning that gets you all hooked and crazy. She's very smart, and like Raven said, it's almost like predatory or manipulative, because it's like, I got it right where I want her.
It is. It's
like I thought.
It is.
Well, look, I'm gonna get my predator on then, because it's working. because I feel differently. Like last week, I felt like she was all about Miss Walker because of the money. But this week, I think there was a moment like when Miss Walker starts telling her, like her face just lights up when Ann Lister walks in the room, right? And she says, oh, do you remember you came by right after my mom died, suddenly right after my dad died, and when you came, it just lit up my whole world. You were the sunshine in this dark moment. And I think there's a part of Miss Lister, Ann Lister, no matter where she's at, to hear somebody looks at you like that, I don't know.
It's just, if you're egotistical, it just feeds your ego.
You think she's egotistical?
I don't know. She says it when she breaks the fourth wall.
Well,
that's her entire ego talking through the fourth wall.
But you have those people that are gonna. You come on, Raven. You've had those people that are like, he's in love with me. I just got to help him see it.
That's not healthy.
Break up with your girlfriend and boy.
God. Look, let's get some male perspective in here. That's what we need.
I love it. I just love hearing y'all go back and forth. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. For me, I don't know if she's predatory or if she's trying to find someone who she can secure her bags with. There are times where, looking at it from a male's perspective, there are times where I have friends who are lawyers, some are engineers, and they want to make sure that they're with someone who's not with them for money because they have their own fortune. So part of me I do feel like some of it may be predatory, but I don't think it's in a way where she's trying to manipulate Miss Walker. I think she's trying to secure Miss Walker, because if she does, then Miss Walker's money is going to go to her family. That's how I look at it.
Interesting. See, and I thought of it more from an emotional standpoint. I feel like she's trying to set the groundwork and just like build her up so that she can eventually say, now, do you have the courage to live openly as a lesbian with me? Because you got to really put in some work. Okay?
That's what I'm saying. So she's building this strong, foundation. Then I still don't know if I'm gonna jump on this predator train, because she also mentions in this scene how much she's just fascinated with the human body. So she does happen to be more fascinated with the female body.
Right, I caught that.
But she dissected a baby. Well, I just can't gloss over that.
Don't gloss over it.
She dissected a baby.
What?
I don't know. And see, that's, to me, in all fairness, I could probably dissect a human and be fine with it if it's an adult. But I don't know if I could dissect a human. I think, or a baby. You know what I mean? Like, I think the motherly instinct, even though I don't have children, I think it would still kick in. Like, this is a child. And for her to just be all fascinated, like, I dissected a baby. That was so weird to me.
I mean, some medical schools, they use those cadavers.
I understand.
For that research.
I understand.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? This reminds me of a comment I read in our comment section from our last episode. I want to say the exact person's name, but you guys have it up. I'll come back to it. But they said that basically it shows that no matter, as long as you have money, it doesn't matter what era you were born in or what time period, whatever, you're going to be a little bit odd, a little unusual.
A little eccentric.
Because you have access to all of these things that a lot of people don't have. And then you have the freedom to just kind of run around in your mind and be like, what am I interested in? And then, Yeah.
So let's go on and talk about this Cole now, right?
Oh,
That's
the Cole.
I love the business side of her. Me too. Because she is about that. She about her paper, y'all, or in this case, Cole.
Savage.
So she is going to meet Mr. James Holt, who is going to school her on how to play the boys that are stealing her coal. And she, at the beginning, wants to do it all legally. She's going to go get somebody to file an audit. And then James is like, how long do you think that's going to last? Yeah.
Right. And how long do you think it's going to take?
He hating.
Is he? He's being logical, especially since they're in the judicial system.
Right.
You can't have nobody go down there and run an audit for you without them getting wind of it, right? So I like that part of her because I felt like she was really strong, but she realized really quick, like, all right, hold on. Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
How can we make this work to my favor?
Mm-hmm.
So would you say that she understands that even though she's an alpha female, she understands that she does need help in certain areas?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a good
I
point.
would think so.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm getting some looks, though.
Where did that guy come from?
He is the dude that's working with her. He is trying to help her.
Mr. Washington.
Mr. Washington brought James Holt to her.
Okay.
Yeah.
To basically break it down, like, look, I'm down there. I know what's going on. You don't. Let me hip you to the game. And she did take a seat back and say, okay, let me do my own research. Can you get these numbers for me? And later on, we find out more. I'm not gonna go forward.
And that was the other thing that a sidebar that I love about this show is that there's all these subsets of stories. Like the main story is Miss Walker and Miss Leinster, but like these subsets of stories, and you kind of have to keep up.
Yes.
But it does a good job of like reeling you in, and once you're in, you're just in. But as far as the Cole, did you guys think, okay, so we get to the price. I'm going to skip to the price because we were talking about this price the whole time. When she lands on this price of what she wants to sell it for. Did anybody find out how much this 226 pounds, 17 shillings, and 16 pence actually adds up to?
6 pence.
6 pence.
Yes, I did do the math.
Okay, I was like, I need to know. How much would that be now?
Full responsibility. The math that I did, so if you bring it into today's dollars, it said that 1 pound was 14,000. So, or at that time.
Oh, wow.
So I did 14,000,
idea.
multiplied by the 226. And you're looking at somewhere around $3.164 million.
Per acre?
Per acre.
What?
At this point. That's US dollars. The euro version
I'm shook.
in 2019 numbers is 2.949 euros, which is 2.9 million euros. Yeah, that's what we're looking at. So she was looking at around 3 million per acre. So that's why I said she's in Calabasas.
So that's why
The Shibden Hall is in Calabasas.
Yes.
She hails from Calabasas.
Yes.
But I'd had to go to that number because if she's smart enough to do this math, she doesn't need Miss Walker's money.
So does that mean that she really does love Miss
But
Walker?
that's now too.
What you mean?
You just spoke in 20.
those
This is 2019 dollars, but I didn't convert it back into 1832. But
because we wouldn't understand 1832.
Yeah, but we know.
Let us know.
Yeah, if you could get
It's still a lot of money.
$3 million per acre. If you just had 2 acres,
Right.
You living.
Right. You don't need Miss Walker.
Right. She doesn't
So does
need
she
her
really
money.
love her?
No.
Okay, we just not gonna get Raven on this love train tonight.
No. Well, love to her might be a different thing. People who operate that way,
Okay.
it's a different thing when you operate out of your ego in that way.
That's a fair
So
point.
I see love in a different way. The way
Okay.
I see it, I don't see that as it. I see
Okay.
it as feeding her ego.
Plus, hurt people hurt people.
Hurt
That's what
people
I'm
hurt
saying. She's
people.
very hurt right now. She's still going through her
True
pain,
that,
her heartbreak.
True that.
Oh, wow.
She's breaking it down and like trying to suppress it, but truthfully, she still feels it. And what I did like though, before we jump off the Cole thing, because I do want to jump on, any love, I'm ready to jump on it. But I wanted to talk about how smart they are to devise this plan. The plan is to trick what are they, Rawsons?
The Rawsons.
The Rawsons, they get on my nerves.
Christopher and Jeremiah.
The Rawsons. But she's going to trick them. She's going to let them basically feel like somebody else is offering more money than they are, make them pay the real price, and then like do some, what is her point? What is she trying to do to them? Like,
Not even pay the real
avoid
price,
them.
but pay the more than probably what it's worth, and pay for the coal you've already stolen.
Stealing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what got me about them, especially Jeremiah. Jeremiah has no backbone.
None.
He has
I thought
no
he
spine.
tried. He tried. He came in and he was like, we need to do the right thing. He's like, we've been stealing from her all this time. We need to make it right, do it legal.
Oh yeah, he's a good guy.
He's a good guy.
He
yeah.
tried, but no, we're not gonna get him off the hook because after she told him the real price, he came back like, Yeah, you know, people be talking about her. She is not a good person. Like, he was off the Lister train at that point.
Well, his brother told him, don't go in there and let her run numbers around you.
Brother's a little punk. Because that's what he said, why didn't you go?
Right. Right. But I think he knows, because then we find out later that he grew up with her. And he says, you know, I knew her socially, and then she went to that school, but she got kicked out. And then he's like, I have no idea why. She's probably just a handful. Right? So he kind of knew her. So he probably knew, I'm not going in there to talk to that lady.
Right. And they don't even feel like she has any, like, right to be coming in there stomping around and demanding things, because they're like, she's from East Yorkshire. She's not even from here. She is a troubled child whose aunt and uncle gave her this beautiful mansion at the age of 16, because she basically came there to take care of them and, you know, to get away from wherever she was coming from. So she doesn't even have any right to be stomping around here. Like, and then even the way the guy was like, she informs herself very well, so be careful. It's like patriarchy runs on ignorance.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you're not ignorant anymore, so we can't run our same games that we've been running. This is going to have to stop.
But coming there at 16, that's a poignant point. Coming there at 16 is significant of the fact that she's been there long enough to understand things. So you're right about the weakness part, about the patriarchy, the ignorance. The other part is, I feel like, because they think that the women should be ignorant, have they really educated themselves? That's the other question.
Not.
Like, I've been in situations where you're talking to someone who thinks you're stupid. So they say, you know, they say little things, you know, and you're looking at them like, dude, this is not the truth. But they think you're an idiot. And I feel like that's how they interact with Miss Lister. They're saying she's a woman, so she's not supposed to know, so she doesn't know.
Right.
They don't speak to her as she does know. She's been, I didn't realize she had been there since 16. So it's almost 20 years of knowledge that she's obtained at this point of how to run a farm, how to run a business, how much everything should be worth. She told the guy last week, he's 80 years old, he's no good, get him off my land. That tells you that there's something in her that feels like she should be relevant, and she should make everyone else around her relevant, who she can help.
Right. And furthermore, she's been traveling. And so she's well traveled and cultured.
Yes.
So she also feels like, look, you guys haven't even left this town. Like, I've got history under my belt that I've created for myself.
You know that.
You know? Well, under the belt.
I'm gonna leave it alone.
Shauna
I did not do that.
Leave it alone. Look at me. Yay. But I do want to jump to another little side plot, and that's with Eugenie. I keep calling Eugenia, but it's Eugenie and Mr. Sean Dooley, because I think this is going to be the ship that's going to be super cute. I think it's going to be a super cute ship, especially since one member of the ship can't speak English. So
and he's so nervous.
Perfect relationship.
Right.
He's just as nervous as he can be around her.
He is.
But that's kind of cute, though.
It is cute because I don't know if you guys noticed the light bulb that went off in his head when Elizabeth and the rest of the servants are sitting around talking about her, and they're like, she drank a whole bottle of like whiskey or something. She's trying to kill the baby.
Oh man!
Yeah.
Like did that dawn on? Like she's drinking.
Wait, she's still doing that?
Yes. That's
The baby's still here, Raven.
No, I didn't know she was. I thought she was drinking last episode. I missed her still.
No.
I missed that.
Yeah, so she drank a whole bottle of something. She's like, Lord knows where she got her hands on it. And then Elizabeth, and she says, well, what is she going to do? She's like, well, she needs to find a good Christian guy who will pretend the baby's his. And then you see Sean go, like there's that moment that he's like, oh.
I got you. I'm with it.
I'm a good Christian guy.
I am. And I've got a whole bunch of girls at home.
That's right.
And then I love that he just goes from the idea to the little girls like, so what do y'all think if I get married?
Yep.
Like you don't even talk to her at this point.
And you can tell by the interactions with the girls that he's such a good father because they were willing to like joke with him and play around with him. Like, I like that. I like that.
He got it. What else is she gonna do?
Right.
I mean, he knows her situation, so.
Well, she thinks the guy didn't, because somebody said that, like, she still thinks the guy that got shot out the tree is coming to marry her.
George, the groom.
Remember he said that? Because she was like, she thinks she's coming to marry her, and he goes, still?
Oh.
So I'm like, does she know?
She's a little cuckoo.
I don't know. Like, that's why I was like, is that what does she still think he alive?
I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yeah.
I find it hilarious that every time we run up on Eugenie, she's like laying down or like leaning, and then when she comes, she's like.
So is she lazy or tired?
I think she's tired.
Yeah, that baby kicking her.
Yes. Okay, so now we see him bring back flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Cute little flowers. And he's trying to talk to her, but she doesn't speak English. But he's not giving up.
No, of course not.
So I think this should be your ship.
Okay.
You're not feeling it.
Have to give them a name.
No, I am definitely feeling it, and I'm thinking of a name as we speak right now, honey. I've been thinking of many names, but I would love for the fifth panelist to give me some suggestions, please.
Yes.
Because Eugenie and what's his name, Sean
D.
Yeah, Sean D.
Sean
Sound
D.
like a rapper name,
Okay,
right?
Eugenie and Sean D. You guys, I'm skilled, but I ain't that skilled. Okay, help me out with the ship name with that one.
All right, so then of course it goes back to Miss Walker, and now she gets kind of, I don't know, bothered by the fact that flustered. Thank you. Flustered is a fantastic word. By the fact that Miss Walker is leaving for these 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So
because her plan and her plot and her manipulation,
yes, ma'am,
is being foiled. I'm just saying.
Preach on, sister.
She is not reaching. Okay.
Just saying.
Did you see?
I'm just saying.
I agree with you. Raven.
oh my gosh.
You know what? You got points to back it up. Back it up, girl.
Because you just gonna agree with no points? Is that what just happened?
Jackie, were we watching the same show? You saw her.
Look, I thought the frustration was because like sometimes when you meet look, am I the only one this has happened to? Don't give me this face. Like you meet somebody and you think
you're
stuff
really
is
excited.
You're good. Things are good, and then they say they're going away for an extended period of time,
You're
and you don't
sad.
even
You don't stab yourself. And
She didn't
break.
stab her. It was an accident. She broke it, and it just happened to gash her right. It was an accident.
She started shaking. She started shaking. She started breathing hard, and then she got angry like the Holt.
Oh.
So is that a control thing?
That's how I'm gonna tell the story.
Okay.
I truly believe that she just felt like this is not in the plan. There's no way that this is going down. Let me go ahead and invite you somewhere else.
But that's later. That's in the spring.
It's okay,
It's
but
still
still,
part of her
she
whole-
put it in
she's
her mind.
manipulative.
She said she loves the brain.
So let me ask you this: do you expect? Okay, so at this point,
conspiracy theorists.
well, no, look, I'm just asking.
Baggage, romantic baggage on this side.
I'm just saying.
She like her. It's just in an interesting way.
Okay, so do you expect Miss Walker to? Do you? Wait, I'm my bad. Do you expect Miss Lister to think Miss Walker is going to sit around and wait until springtime or Easter to leave? Is that what you're? Okay, so then my point is, Ann Walker isn't wrong for going to see someone else, and Lister, just because she's upset about it doesn't mean that she's predatory.
She was more than upset though. It wasn't a normal. It wasn't a
Okay,
normal.
but if I'm gonna play devil's
She was
advocate
like-
for a moment,
She was jealous.
okay, but she also knows that this is a town filled with people who don't like her because she's odd, because she's aggressive, she's an alpha, and they know she likes the ladies. So before I get my foundation good with this woman, she's going to be whisked away by a bunch of people who are going to tell her that I'm aggressive, I'm odd, and I like women.
This lady does
Hence her
not
sister.
care what any
She don't give a
human thinks.
Of her personally, but maybe it's different with the person she's got a romantic interest in because she doesn't want the vision of herself tainted with that person.
I don't agree
All
with
she's
that.
gonna do is
I can
shoulder
see
check
that.
them the same way she shoulder checked old girl. Like,
Don't
don't make me come for you.
Image is everything to Ann Lister. So if your image is everything, that means that you do care what people think. Now, there's a point in seeing it. You may not care what people think because you're walking around being who you are, but you do care what people think to the point of you have someone who you feel can protect you from those people, and now they're able to castigate your name amongst the community. So when people say, "Well, I don't care what you think," you do care. That's why your hair's done. That's why your teeth are straight. That's why your breath doesn't stink. So you do care to a point. That's how I'm looking at it. That's how I look at it.
Okay.
To an extent.
Right.
To an extent.
But
Yeah,
I
to an
still don't
extent.
think to a level
Keep
of...
the conversation going in the comments because I got something else to say, but we don't have time to say
Right,
it. Tonight,
yeah.
I'm going to go and type some things.
Type
Uh-oh.
it, sister.
Lord have mercy.
Team typing fast.
So I want to jump real quick to the Hardcastle family. That's the family that the little boy, he had to have his leg amputated, because I also think this scene kind of epitomizes the force that she is, because we know Henry has not spoken since the accident. And she's coming by for no other reason than just to check.
Right.
Now, I did like how she clarified something, because I was confused, too. I thought that Anne had paid for the doctor for the little boy, but it wasn't. It was her sister.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So I like that they had that little clarification in there. But she's coming by just to check on him, just to see how he's doing. She's already kind of figured out maybe, what's his name? Christopher. Christopher,
Okay.
The
Rawsons might.
Oh, yes.
They're not investigating properly, so she's just going over there to check on him. And now Henry all of a sudden has something to say.
Yes, he does.
See, I think she expected him to say something. I think this is a woman who's well aware of her power. She's not. He hasn't talked yet. Okay,
right. Let me show up.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Now I don't think she expected to know what he was going to say or how much, or that it would be that conversation that it really carried on. But she fully expected him to say something.
I agree.
Okay.
She's aware of her energy.
I don't think she expected him to say, "Are you a man?"
Right. And look, she's poised.
Yeah.
That didn't,
She did get tripped up a little bit. She's like, "I'm a woman. I'm a lady woman. I'm a she got that moment where I think that back to what you were saying, like she does care.
Right.
Like she's still she understands that she's not the average female.
Correct.
But she's still a female. And so I think it might have jarred her a little bit because she said, "You're not the first to ask me that."
Right.
You know what I mean?
And even told the story.
About how she thought she was really pretty that day.
Yeah.
She thought she was snatched that day.
she's ahead of her time. So it's like I have to use their terms. I'm a girl. I'm a woman, lady. And she probably today would be, there are no labels.
Right.
I'm me.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Deal with
Well,
it.
what I will say is when Henry spoke, I put on here, I almost did a holy dance. Ay-ya, hallelujah.
Oh, watch
Listen,
out.
Don't get me started.
Listen to me. This boy hasn't spoken since he hurt his leg, okay? And they said ain't no infection set up in his leg.
Uh-oh.
And then he woke up and said, "Are you a man?" Okay, that's a word. And I want you guys to look that up in Gentleman Jack. Thessalonians. No, I'm making up books of the Bible. But no, it's just funny to me that I think that Thomas planted the seed when he first gave him that little toy.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of sparked him up a little bit to have that urge to want to talk. And I think that, and like you guys said, with her energy was just the icing on the cake.
Takes a village. It takes a village to raise a child, right?
Yes.
So now this is the other part of I'm very much Team Lister Walker. Lister Walk. List Walk? I don't know. I'm still working on it.
We're working on it.
I'm still very much
Walk list.
Oh yeah. Whenever I think about these two, I just think about, they're on this journey together. I don't even think they realize they're on this journey together.
That's true.
Right? But what do you think?
Oh, she realized it. She realizes it. She realizes that she's on this journey, the same journey that we are on right now at AfterBuzz TV. We are on a journey with our careers and our lives, okay? No, I mean, honestly, we can't trick you guys. You guys know we have a live read to do, and I'm going to be the one doing it today. Hey, guys. So before we move on to our next topic, I hope you guys are enjoying everything we're talking about. This show is so good. And we just want to say thank you so much. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, as well as my lovely co-panelists and all of us at AfterBuzz TV for you guys making us the ESPN of TV talk. But for us to continue to grow, we need your help. You know what I'm going to ask for? Not money, just thumbs up. Subscribe. If you're, tell a friend, tell an enemy. If you're on iTunes, give us 5 stars. You know what to do. That's called love and support. And you guys are our 5th panelists, so we know you love and support us. As do we for you, because we really care for you guys. Just wanted you to know, and I tell everybody this, I used to sit on the couch and watch this, and now I'm here.
Preach it.
And when I think about that, I just want you guys to know that I thank you from the bottom of my heart. So we're going to buzz you guys later, but we're going to get back into these topics.
Yes. Thanks, Shauna.
You're welcome.
All right, so let's get to the wedding real quick, because the wedding was, I think, how she really just didn't want to go to the wedding. And then Miss Walker, because she's been influencing Miss Walker this whole time.
Yes.
And finally, Miss Walker has a moment of influence.
It's something about that kind of innocence that she has. And I'm sure for a person like Anne, well, they're both Anne, huh?
Yeah.
A person like Miss Lister is, going back a little bit to what you said, that type of personality operates out of not fear, but you're always putting on. She always has to be on top. She always has to be the smartest. And here's someone who's just so innocent and so just like, but this and but that, and just sees the world in a different kind of way. So I think for her, that's a good match in that way.
And then I liked how once the wedding was over, once she confronted Miss
Hobart.
Miss Hobart.
Your favorite.
I don't like her.
I
do not like Miss Hobart.
No, I'm being facetious.
But so then I feel like Miss Walker was right. Sometimes you just got to close, whatever reason you probably need to be there. And I think she just needed to close that door.
That gave me okay, I don't know. You guys probably don't know this show. It's old, but Different World. That gave me Different World.
Oh, we know about Different World.
Okay, well, the people out there, I didn't know. It gave me Different World vibes when Dwayne Wayne.
Oh, yeah.
Willie.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
But she didn't do it. I
didn't.
saw the pain in her eyes and in her heart, and she was just like, I gotta suck it up. I have to go and be the bigger person. I have to let her know she is validated. And you could just see the life, like, regain into that woman's body once she told her it was okay, because she was like, are you gonna approve of this for real or not? You know what I mean? But with the way Miss Walker encouraged her and the way she stood up for her with her cousin, I think that's what really kind of gave her that strength. Yeah. And that's why afterwards she was like, I'm going to the lake.
Yep. That's exactly it. All right, well, with that, you guys, let's get into our special segment.
Yay.
That's the bell, because we got some Halifax.
All right, guys, we got some Halifax from Halifax. The first one, we're going to go back a little bit from the first episode where groom was mentioned, and now a groom would be the man that I'm waiting to propose to me. But
or you could propose too.
Nah. Then a groom, which was so eloquently told to us by one of our co-panelists, a groom is a stable boy or person who is responsible for some of all the aspects of management of horses and or the stables themselves. Okay. So a groom was not her man. Is what I learned. So. Yes, so sorry about that, guys. We're learning, okay? Also, Shibden Hall still exists. Well, at least in the early 2000s is the last picture that I saw of it. You guys can look it up. It still exists, and it's located on Lister. Is it Lister Street? Lister Road. It's located on Lister Road. It's a historic house in a public park, and I think in this episode she mentioned wanting it to be a park. It's located in a public park in England. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, that's so cool. Really nice. Especially the one about the especially the part about the park. She did mention that she wanted, and they were like, "You do?" They were like, "We've never heard of anything like that," and now it is. That's so awesome, guys.
All right, well now let's get to our news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Wow, you guys, I have a lot of news and gossip for you, but I think I'm gonna have to bring it on down. First things first, the picture that you're seeing on the screen right now is of one of our characters, Miss Marianne, which is the sister, the jealous sister. But her name is really Gemma Whalen, and she's actually on Game of Thrones. And this is a photo, because with news and gossip, we're talking about the actual lives of the actors and the show and stuff like that. So she's actually here feeding her real baby in the middle of the battle of Winterfell. And they show like her all full up in costume and everything, and she's like, well, a baby's gotta eat. So she is a boss chick, just like our girl Anne. Also, I just want to give shout out again as well to the Shibden Hall, which is located, like she said, in England. They actually have just received a blue plaque, which is a big deal out there, that says the Halifax Civil Trust. Anne Lister was born in 1791 to 1840. She's a diarist, a businesswoman, landowner, traveler, and lesbian who recorded much of her personal life in a secret code. She lived at Shibden Hall from 1815 to 1840. I thought it was so cool that they showed that she was, they said that she was a lesbian, because that it kind of puts a timestamp on her legacy. Also, they have actually been chosen for their town's top 5 architectural delights, which is look how beautiful Shibden Hall is. Oh my gosh.
That's gorgeous.
That is where our girl Anne was living and walking through the halls and strutting. Basically, they were featured, and they're very, very proud of that. Furthermore, Anne's birthday was earlier this month, and she actually, I don't have a picture of it, but it was on the 3rd of this month, and she would have been 229 years old, you guys. Isn't that amazing? And actually, the people who gave her a rainbow-colored cake, we all know what that's about, were actually volunteers from the West Yorkshire Lesbians, Queer Stories, actually, is what it's called. And it's just crazy to see how she started there, and now they have an entire organization on, in where Shibden Hall is, and they actually volunteered for her birthday. So that's just full circle.
Yay! Thank you so much. All right, you guys. I love this episode.
I did too.
I did. You guys have any predictions?
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Are we gonna start? We're all staring at Shauna, so we're gonna start with Shauna. We're gonna start with Shauna. Predictions.
Why?
I don't know, but we all were.
We
so
were.
Go ahead.
Okay, my prediction is that I think that next week we are going to see the two Anns coming together at the lake, and we're finally going to get that kiss that she's been teasing. So that's what I'm looking forward to, is the big kiss. What about you, Raven?
I agree with that ship, and maybe we'll have a name.
Yes.
What else? We'll get to see further. Eugenie. I want to say that name wrong. Eugenie. I feel like the aunt's, her health is going to start to really fail in a way that's going to change the dynamic of how Anne moves and what the household is like.
Yeah, true.
Oh, I think Mr. Rawson is going to get it handed to him.
Oh, yeah. I'm ready for that.
I think that he's trying to play her because he's the magistrate and he has all these connections. But I think Anne being tapped in she's very intelligent. She's highly intellectual. And I feel like she's going to have someone there to have a footing on what's going on before it takes place.
Mm-hmm. I agree with all of that. My main focus right now is the vehicle crash at the beginning. Like, there's a part of me that still feels like it was Anne's carriage that did it. But the way that Christopher spoke, I kind of think that he did it. So I just need to find out. So I don't have a prediction on that, but I'm hoping that will develop as we go along.
Oh, yeah. And last thing, and the Cole. I think that she's going to actually just try to do the whole Cole thing herself.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
All right, guys. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for staying with us. But before we go, let's tell you once again our social media hail from
Raven French on all social media.
And I hail from Twitter at Deshauna O.
I'm at Cleverly Clad everywhere.
And I am J. Ray the Fanatic, everywhere you want to be. And we are here throughout the week. We chat in the chat with you guys all week long. So if you have something to say, please say it, comment. We are going to respond back to you. Make sure you're here next week for episode 3. I can't believe we are zooming along like this. It's such a great eepisode. Catch up on it on HBO and come back and stay with us here next week on AfterBuzz TV. Gentleman Jack. Buzz y'all later.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.